In this video, we're looking at how to handle or how to manage fixed assets of the institution within the global banking software. We're looking at amortization, looking at depreciation, looking at how to make funds available for the purchase of these materials. So we move over to the general ledger transactions menu right here and down to the accounting entries and moving over to the sub menu single entry, and right here we're going to tell Global Bank, give Global Bank information about the purchase of these material. First, we're telling Global Bank that we're beginning a new entry by clicking on the new button right here, and right here we're going to move on by selecting the journal that will actually into which we're logging the data for this transaction. And for the purpose of this demo, we are going with the administration journal. And now the next thing is we're going to tell Global Bank the source of funds for the purchase of these fixed assets. And for the purpose of this demo, we are going to go with account 22, operating material and furniture, and that's the source of the funds for the purchase of these material. And of course, we're going to credit a different account, which is account 56, and we are going with let's, for the sake of this demo, CCA Limbe, which is the account belonging to this bank. And of course, we have to, the next step, get in with a description, and I want us to be very specific by telling the system we are going to buy a printer for head office. As a matter of fact, this is just information for this demonstration, and for the reference we are going with these 852, and for the amount we're going with 45,000 francs and CFA. That is the cost of the material we are about to purchase, the fixed asset. And right here we're going to move on by validating this entry. Right now we've already told Global Bank, we've given Global Bank information about the purchase of these fixed assets. So the next thing is to key in the data entries that are specific to these particular material. So we go to Global General Ledger Transactions menu right here and down to Fixed Assets Entry and to Acquisition. Now this brings this window where we are going to have to locate the assets in the list of assets right here, and we have different options going by the reference or the invoice number, going by the asset description or the account number. So for the sake of the demo, we are going with the the reference number, which is 852, and this brings up the specific, this particular printer which we are buying for the head office right on the list here. So we're going to pick this up, and we're going to be able to fill the form with other necessary items, necessary data that will allow Global Bank calculate the depreciation values and the amortization. So right here we are going to have to pick the localization of the item, the fixed assets we're about to purchase, and again we're going to have to pick the type of the asset type here. And on the list, for the sake of this demo, what we are seeing is actually what we have here for the sake of this demo. And I know practically in your copy of Global Bank you may have something that's different from this, but you're going to go ahead and pick what actually describes the assets that is being keyed in. And of course, for the sake of the demo, we are going with a supplier called WP, and the acquisition type is cash. And of course, there is this other area of the form that has to be taken very seriously. Before we get there, we need to also tell Global Bank the guarantee that is been given by the manufacturer of this particular asset. And right down here, we have the date of acquisition and the date of the use, the day the material actually is put to use. And these dates have to be properly entered so that the depreciation of the material will be properly calculated. And of course, we have here the initial value which we entered into the system at the level of the funding source. And right here we have the lifespan of the material, and for the sake of this demo we are going with 2, and at this point the system is going to tell us the rate of amortization, which is for this demo 50. And again, we have the periodicity of accounting. All right, for the sake of this demo, we are going with monthly, and we have the periodicity of amortization, which is for the sake of this demo as well, we're going to go with monthly. And now right down here we have, for the accounting purposes, the different accounts that will be funds will be moved as the depreciation of these materials, this fixed material goes on. And remember, we say that it has a lifespan of 2 years. So for the sake of this demo, we're going to pick this amortization account, and we're going to have this expense depreciation. All right, depreciation account, because amortization and depreciation are two different things, so they have two different accounts. So you have to pick them the way your system or your institution has them configured. And once this is properly filled, we're going to move on with validating the data. And of course, if that is properly done, we're going to have, and just for the purpose of this, we have to enter the number, the unique number of the it could be the number of the printer, or the serial number of the printer, or any number that identifies it within the system. And we're moving on with validating it right here, and it tells us that the entry has been validated. Now let's find out by going over here and trying to locate it, and it tells us it is not available because we have already validated it. Now we need to move to the next step, where we will be able to print out the depreciation table. We'll be able to have other details, or even modify some information about the material or the fixed assets we've just keyed in. So what we do is we're going over to GL transactions menu here, and down to fixed asset entry and to accounting. Now this brings up the window where we have fixed assets that are already entered, and so we're going with this particular printer we just bought for the head office. We're going to pull all the data right here, and now this allows us to do some basic modifications. All right, like we can change, for maybe for the head office, it's not for the head office, it's for one other branch, and we can change the asset type as well, and even the date of acquisition and the date of putting use. The other information is fixed within the system. So what we have to do now is we are able to actually view the amortization table. All right, this is the amortization table, and we are able to, if something happened and the printer is damaged, we are able to just move ahead and calculate the depreciation of this asset. Now let's get over to the lists here, and that gives us the list of assets that have started depreciating at this moment. Right now we may not have anything in this list because this is a demo, but as time goes on, as the assets are getting depreciated month after month, you'll be able to view the assets on this list right here. Now the next option, we may want to go to, like I said, to amortization table right here. By going here, you're able to see the amortization table, which is printable right here. And remember, this is just a stretching of the depreciation, as a matter of fact, of these assets within during the period of its lifespan, and this is quite printable. And like I said, this other button enables us to actually fully depreciate this item because of one reason or the other. Now I hope this video has been helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.